Beautiful rib. Pastor, our junior district, Esther Maxwell-Ogar. I want you to take this time, men and women of God. I want you to introduce yourself. And once you do that, we're going to run with it. And so, his Musk, Her Aroma. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, viewers. My name is Apostle Maxwell-Ogar, Senior Pastor, Spirit of Glory Assembly. And I also anchor Maxwell-Ogar Ministries. We are in charge of crusade from state to state and nations to nations. So I think I've been married to my beautiful wife for 11 years now, and we've gotten 4 kids. Then we're okay with that. I think that's a brief summary of who I am. So I will allow her to also do her little introduction. I'm sure you're hearing me, ma'am.
Yes, I hear you loud and clear. Yes.
All right,
Bring your aroma, junior district.
Okay.
All right, my name is Pastor Mrs. Esther Maxwell in Nigeria from Cross River State, right now in Calabar. I am a pastor for some years now and also a gospel artist. I love singing so much. And just like my husband has said, we've been married for 11 years now and we have 4 kids. And I think that is okay for now. We are not going to have more kids. We are just okay with the 4. We thank God for his blessing, his favor, and all that he has been doing in our life. Thank you, Mommy.
Amazing. And at this time, I don't want to rob the people that will push replay, nor myself. So we're going to let you all just talk about how you met. How did you meet? The moment that you all knew that he was the one, she was the one. Talk to us about the meeting and the falling in love, because the couples are going to be so blessed by your love story. Bring your story. His Musk Her Aroma. Either one of you all can start.
All right, can I start?
Okay, let us start.
All right, let me be the first person to start. Wow, this is a privilege to share how we met with my husband. You know, it's a story I used to tell most people. And then when they start asking, how did you manage to know he is the will of God for you, or he was the will of God for you before you both got married? And I always tell them, particularly me, I'm from a family where it's difficult for the young ladies to get married. So I had a lot of siblings before me that were unable to get married. So it has been a problem. How do we cross this bridge? And if you succeed in getting married, either you'll be divorced or your husband will be dead. And so because of this reason, I was so scared of marriage. It was something very serious because me coming from a broken home, my mom got married to, wedded in the church. It was a beautiful love story that started off, and then later on, she was divorced. My father sent her packing. And because of that, we passed through a lot. We passed through hell, we passed through hardship, we passed through a series of setbacks in life because of the broken home. A lot of abuse, and people talk to us that we don't have a father figure, we don't have anyone to protect us. So I grew up not knowing what a fatherly love is all about. So getting married was the most difficult decision to make. It was so difficult that I felt, I think it's better not to get married. And that was what I felt actually initially. I was like, but then a thought came to my mind, why not I start praying now that it's still early? I should start praying to break those yokes and those things that causes those problems in my family. Because I could see my elderly ones, 40 years, 45, 50 years, they are not married. Am I the one that is going to get married? So it was a difficult decision to really make. And then I started prayers. My mom also joined me in prayers. And one day she told me that she had a revelation. They had a revelation when they were praying. And they saw all the family members being stopped in one place, there was a line that when that particular family member gets to that point, you don't cross that line. But when I got there, he said in the revelation, she saw me coming to remove the barrier that was holding people. And that was how I was able to pass through that place. And then all my family members went after me. So she told me that she's believing that the yoke of people not getting married in the family will be broken by me. So I should pray seriously, and that the prophecy said, if I succeed, others will succeed. So when I heard that, it was something that I was waiting for. I told God, my name is Esther. If I perish, I perish. I said, I want to act like the Esther in the Bible. I said, because if Esther could pray and something happened, my name too is Esther. I can pray also and something will happen. Then I started fasting and prayers. Actually, I prayed for 21 days, and at a point, since I had ulcer, the thing developed so seriously. I told myself, if this ulcer is going to kill me, I don't have any problem. At least someone will know that I died for something. I died trying to save my family from the bondage of not getting married, from the bondage of divorce, and from the bondage of untimely death. I continued the prayers. I entered 3 days dry. The last one was 9 days. So after that prayer, I had peace of mind. Then suitors started coming, actually. And when they come like that, mostly they will have this revelation that someone is fighting them in the revelation. And when they hear that, they will run away. We had a lot of suitors that came. Some will say, I had a revelation, you were pursuing me with a knife. I had a revelation, someone, and I saw you in a way that I didn't like. I will not marry any longer. And so that has been happening, heartbreaks and lots more. And one day, a man of God told me, he said, see, Minister Esther, he said, pray that God will give you a man after his heart. He said, don't ask God you're looking for money. Don't ask God you're looking for handsomeness. Don't ask God you're looking for material things. Just ask God, I am looking for a man after my heart. And when that man comes, you will know. And that was the prayer I prayed. We've been talking with my husband for a year then, but I didn't know him. He called me, he said, can you come and minister in songs in my program? And when I was about attending the program, something happened, I couldn't attend again. Then we've been talking once in a while, but we always disagree. And then I didn't even know that he's going to end up being my husband. I was just talking to him based on he's inviting me for a program. I don't know him, I've not seen him before. Anyway, any day I see him, I will know him. And then finally, somehow, 2013, he called me again after a while and said, I want to come to your school so that I can organize a program with your fellowship of Christian students. I said, okay, I waited for him. And the first time he disappointed, and the second time he came, I went to the school gate to pick him. I said, are you the one that I've been calling? He said, yes. I took him to my house. We started discussing. I said, you came for a program? He said, yes. After he's done eating, he's going to go for the arrangement of the program. I said, okay. We were just discussing. But I discovered that I just saw him for the first time, and I don't know him, but I just had peace of mind. Without even knowing he would ask me for marriage or anything, but I had peace of mind staying with a stranger, just sitting, talking with him, and just like that. And I said, so you've been the person that have been talking to me all this while on phone, and we've always been disagreeing. Today that I've seen you, let us disagree now. So he just smiled and stopped like that. After I finished giving him food, he said actually he never came for a program. He was just looking for a means to talk to me. I said, okay, what is it? He said he wants to get married to me. He doesn't know whether I have prayed concerning that. I said, well, I will pray concerning it. But then I didn't see anything in him that will make me like him. I just like his personality, that he's a man of God, but there was nothing like any feelings or anything that will make me like him. And plus that, I don't even know him. Then after he finished giving me the information, he traveled back to Abuja, because then he was in Abuja, me, I was in Lafayette trying to round up my school. And then when he left, at the point I discovered that the person I just saw now leaving, I was just feeling the absence of someone. And I told my friend, I said, I don't understand. This man that just came and left, I don't know whether it's because he said he wants to marry me. But normally I don't like his personality. But since he left, I've just been missing something around. He said, well, just keep praying. So he traveled back to Abuja. Before he got to Abuja, I called him, have you arrived? He said, yes. And so he started sending me some text messages and stuff like that. I said, okay. And then when he traveled back, one day I was in the room trying to prepare for lecture. Then my roommate that has not been filled with the Holy Spirit was praying. And the next thing she started speaking in tongues. I was like, this is strange. This person that cannot speak in tongue before. So what is happening? The next thing, she scattered the whole room. The power of God was so much. I was just watching her. I wasn't saying anything. She scattered the whole room. Then she started saying, my daughter, God said that man is your husband. She was prophesying on her own. God said that man is your husband. He's going to bring you peace. He's going to bring you happiness. And I just left her in the middle of everything and went for lecture. When I came back, I called her. I said, do you realize you were saying something to me? He said, no, she couldn't remember. She only remembered that she was praying. But she didn't know she said anything to me. I said, you were prophesying to me, and this is what you said. It was strange to her. But initially, when all those suitors come like that, I used to have a particular dream. And in that dream, I will always have this dream that I am getting married, but the veil I'm using is dirty. Each time those suitors come, I will be having revelation, I'm getting married, the veil is dirty. So I will now be praying. I said, God, how will I get married with a dirty veil? What is this? And the marriage has never been successful in my revelation. So one day I was praying, I said, well, you passed through God, you passed through your daughter to speak to me. I want to have a confirmation whether he is the one or not. So I started praying. And one of these days, I had this revelation. I saw myself wedding in the revelation. And the person I saw wedding was him. And then everything was successful. But before he came, Mom, I saw him in a revelation. He came in my house before I saw him physically. He came in the realm of the spirit in my house with a group of pastors. And in that revelation, I remember I prepared food for them. And then when I prepared food for them, he told me, now that I know the calling of God in your life, you'll be following me wherever I go to for programs. And I woke up in that revelation. When I saw him, I knew that I've seen someone in the revelation. So I woke up. And the last one that confirmed to me that he is my husband was, I had a revelation, my family member gathered. They were looking for someone to deliver the family from the satanic bondage. And there was nobody. And then I suggested his name. Though in the revelation, they were not willing to accept him, but I suggested his name, and I woke up. I said, well, God, if it is your will, let your will be done. And suddenly, I started having feelings for him. I started loving him. I started enjoying his calls. I started loving his text messages. I started enjoying everything. And then he asked me, you have not told me, will you marry me? I still kept quiet. And then one of these days, he invited me for a program. When I went, he didn't even allow me to say yes or no. He just introduced me to his friend. I said, this is my fiancée, the lady I want to get married to. So I smiled. I said, then later when we finished, I said, why will you do that? I have not even given you a yes. He said, I knew in my spirit that you are my wife. And since God have told me you're my wife, it's going to happen. So I said, amen. Then later on, the revelation that those suitors used to have, he started having it. Seeing a man fighting with him in the revelation, telling him, this lady you are about to marry is my wife. This lady that you are about to marry is my wife. So he started having that constant revelation. And then later on, he said, he's not going to marry any longer. I still prayed again and prayed. I said, God, if he is my husband, let him stop seeing that revelation and let there be a good news. I ended up the 9 days fasting and prayers. The next day he called me. He said, are you my wife? I said, yes, I am your wife. He said, then come, let us start making preparation for our wedding. And that was how the story started until we got here, and it has been success story. We didn't do courtship, Mom, but it's like I've known him for years. And it's like he has known me for years, the understanding, everything till today. People still think that we are just getting married, but they don't know that our marriage has stayed like 11 years. People still think that we are doing honeymoon, but it has been successful all the way. So that was how I met His Musk Apostle Maxwell-Ogar.
Wow, 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 wow. A man after God's own heart. What an amazing moment to give to you so that you would be secure and understanding that if you prayed the right prayer, then God will do the rest. A man after God's own heart. Come on, Apostle, share that Musk. How was it when you met her? What did you understand? What did you know?
Okay, one of the things I knew quite well from the beginning that would be part of my wife is that God told me clearly that 40% of my ministry is inside my wife. So if I marry the wrong person, I will not be able to fulfill the remaining 40% of my ministry. And he said clearly that the person is a gospel artist. It must be a gospel artist. So I had a lot of persons at hand. I had a lot of people, because of God's grace upon my life. I was introduced to so many families, the high, the middle class, the low class, up to the highest level in the country. I had a lot of friends and people connected to so many places, introduced to so many ladies. But what was always at my mind was 40% of your ministry must be in your wife. So many relationships try to come up, but I never gave attention to any because of that one singular purpose. So and for that reason, I have to even marry late. I delayed in marrying because of that reason. But I wanted to make sure I marry right and I shouldn't make a mistake. So I've been praying, waiting on God and asking Him for my wife. Then I had some persons around me that I want to make final decision to get married to. So when I pick up my phone, I went to my cousin. I called my cousin that I want to see him. And then I went to visit my cousin. I said, there is a lady I'm looking for who is my wife. She's a singer. She said, what's her name? I said, I don't know her name. Where is she? I said, I don't know her. I said, but in this locality where you are staying here, tell me who is a singer in this. I mentioned about 1 or 2 churches. I had that perception in the spirit. I said, tell me who and who sings in these 1 or 2 churches. I mentioned the churches for him. And then he called the name, called the person in the other name. I said, no. Call the next name in this other church, in Assemblies of God. I said, yes. I want to see her. I said, you are not known. I said, that is my wife. Let me see her. Just call her and I will hide myself so that I will just see her if she's the one. So I was in the parlor and I was hiding. So they sent for her. She was a family friend to them. She came, but she didn't see me. I only saw her. When she came, she was looking very tattered. She was looking unkempt, very unkempt. Her hair was not made, and she was wearing short hair. But I still told my cousin, I said, that is the person. Give me her number. So that was how the journey began. And then I started calling her that she has been hearing my name, actually, but she has never met me before. And me, that was the first time I've ever seen her, but she has not seen me. Then I started calling her that I want to host her for a meeting because I was looking for a means for us to meet and talk. But I didn't want to make it like marriage. I wanted us to make it look spiritual. So along the line, after almost a year, we were unable to meet, and there was nothing intentional concerning it. So finally one day, I went to see her in school, just like she said earlier, that I want to have a meeting, a program in their school. But when I arrived there, I told her that I didn't actually come for a program. I came for marriage, and I would want to marry you. And I asked her, will you marry me? I think up till now, this is almost 11 years, she has not been able to tell me yes, that she will marry me. But we are married and with 4 children, but she has not accepted. So I'm still
I have accepted.
She has not accepted up till now. And so I'm still waiting for the years, although we have 4 children, I'm properly married. So that's how the story began. And then everything began to fall in place. The marriage proposal, the marriage plans and everything. I don't like talking too much. I think so that for us to be able to answer other questions that you have. I think that's how we met, and then the journey began. So finally, when she came to Abuja, I invited her to Abuja because I wanted to see her and made my final conclusion. She and one other lady, she's a millionaire out here now, a lady, I'm sure they're a billionaire. And then when she came, she was a student, the other one was a billionaire. And then apart from other choices I had at hand, these were the last two decisions I have to make between two of them. A billionaire sitting down, and the funniest thing is that when she came to the church where I was ministering, two of them were sitting in the same place. They were just sitting in the same place, not knowing themselves, not knowing. So while I was preaching, I invited her to come and minister to fulfill my ministry calling. Then the other one was sitting as a billionaire who's supposed to be a sponsor of the gospel. So I have to make a decision between two of them. So when we got finished, I told her, did you see that lady? She said, wow, she was wearing gold all over her body, from everywhere she was wearing gold. And I finally said, I called you because I want to make a final decision between two of you. And I've made my choice. I'll choose you over her. And that was how the journey began. And every other thing, I think, is story. So in case you have other questions, which I know you have, so that I will not answer them before you ask. So that is a little way I can actually present the beginning of our journey. And it has been all the way peaceful. We have one of the best marriages in the world, by His grace. Yes, that is the simple truth. So we thank God for everything. And we are just like friends. We are just like brothers and sisters. Just like she said before, people are thinking that we just got married yesterday. Some think that maybe we are just 1 or 2 years in marriage, or 1 or 2 months in marriage. They are not aware we have 4 children. So thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom, for the time being you are giving to us. And we are still expecting other questions so that other people can get blessed. Thank you, Mom.
Wow. I tell you, you all are just sharing the scent, that musk, the aroma. It is incredible because, again, Pastor Esther was told to take and to seek after a man that his heart was seeking after God, or either to look for a man, to expect a man, in other words, that his heart was totally after God. And then the words that God spoke to you, Apostle, that 40% of your ministry would be within this woman, this rare woman. And I love it that you did not gamble with those words, that you did not settle with women that would come, that would rob you of such an amazing future. And so as I look at you both, the glory of God is just so evident, so evident. I want to talk about for a moment, because anywhere you go, we can hear the scripture about the virtuous woman. Pastor Esther, I'm going to start with you. I want you to talk about that virtuous woman, because sometimes it's misunderstood. Sometimes the woman is not trained to be a virtuous woman, and so she has to feel her way. I want you to give some nuggets to the women that will be tuning in, that will push replay, about the virtuous woman. What does that entail from your point of perspective? Bring your aroma.
Okay, praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Talking about a virtuous woman, reading the book of Proverbs, I got to realize that her price, the Bible says her price is far above rubies. Yes. And the Bible also said, it said, beauty is vain, but the woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised among all. Proverbs 31, verse 30. And so, if beauty is vain, but the woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised among all, then one of the criteria to be a virtuous woman is the fear of God. First of all, if you don't have Jesus in your life, you can't practice the life of Christ, which will make you humble, just like the Bible has said that we women should be submissive to our husbands. As we should be submissive to our husbands. So many women don't understand this place of being submissive, and that is the reason why their marriages doesn't work. As a woman, as a virtuous woman, you have to be submissive. You have to obey your husband. You have to listen to him. You have to understand him. You have to do your best in all that you need to do. And you have to be industrious too in all your ways. So many women are God-fearing, but they are lazy. Yes, they are lazy. They can't do anything for themselves. They just sit back at home trying to make sure that everything just works for them. But as a virtuous woman, the Bible says a virtuous woman is the type of woman that even in the rain, he goes out to take care of his family. She goes out to take care of the family. She does not get scared of the rain. She does not get scared of the lions. She does not get scared of danger. And the Bible says her husband is praised. So if you have the fear of God, one of the attributes that will come is humility. And most marriages today are breaking because women are not humble. You want to measure up with your husband. You're forgetting that your place. The Bible says the husband is the head. The husband is the head of the home. So you have to obey, respect the head of the home. And so most women have failed in their lifetime because they don't want to submit. They don't want to listen. They don't want to take instruction. They don't want to help to support the home. I heard someone said that when I get married, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to stress myself again. I'm going to marry to an already made man that is going to take care of me and all of that. But no, as a virtuous woman, you need to be hardworking. Your children need to be an example of others. Just like the Bible has said that we should be an example of the believers in our words, in our conversation, in everything that we do, in purity, in charity. So a virtuous woman must also have the love of God in his heart. It is the love of God in your heart that is shared abroad. You need to accept others. You need to accept your family members. So many people are married today, but they only accept their husband. They don't accept the mother-in-law. They don't accept the family members. They don't accept anyone around them. The only love they have is for their husband and their family. But as a virtuous woman, they want me to perceive your aroma. They want me to see the beauty of God in you. It is the beauty of God in you that pulls out, that makes others want to come to Christ, that makes others want to ask questions. So many times people ask me, how is your marriage working? Is it that you married the best man? I said, because I put the right things in place. I said, I obey my husband. Not that I am a slave, but I understand the place of a wife, respecting a husband, and doing what I am supposed to do. Sharing love. The love I show to my husband, the world sees it. So many people today call me for counseling for all of that because of what they have seen. So the aroma I produce out of my marriage is what is making others want to emulate. So as a godly woman, as a virtuous woman, you need to present love. You need to show love to your family. You need to be submissive so that the world also, you can be an example also to others. Thank you, Mommy.
Wow. I'm not gonna say too much right now because I want, just the nuggets to continue. Apostle Maxwell, in that same book, Proverbs, it talks about that his heart shall safely trust in her. How have you experienced that? And I want you to talk so that the men will be able to understand, what does that mean, that his heart will safely trust? Because a man desires to trust a woman when he meets her, he marries her, but then along the way, if she's not careful, if she's not living that virtuous life, if she's not honoring him, if she's not putting him first, if she's not taking and submitting in the way that is right to do, then that scripture, it can get lost in the midst of the relationship because she can carry herself in a way that the man of God may not trust her. His heart may not trust safely in her. I want you to bring your musk and talk about that scripture.
All right, thank you, Mom. Trust is very important, just as understanding is in marriage. I believe in understanding, trust, even more than the love package. Because no matter how you love someone, if you don't trust the person and you don't have a good understanding in the marriage, the thing will not properly anchor. I travel a lot and I have peace that no matter how I travel, my home is secure. I travel a lot to so many places. Most times I spend like 2, 3, 4 weeks, a month.
4 months.
Sometimes 3 months, 4 months. So if I don't trust my wife, I don't think I will be able to do that. I trust her that she can take care of the home. I trust her she can run the ministry when I'm not around. I trust her she can keep the home intact, the children and everything, and the relationship and the bed undefined. So, men, before you marry, you should be able to come to that conclusion that you need someone who will give you peace. You need someone that you can trust. You need someone that, because when trust is broken, the foundation of the marriage is over. So I trust her very well because I know she wouldn't do what is against the scriptures. She has been looking for that, so she has forgotten it. So trust is very important because without it, the home will not be standing. If I don't trust her, most times I have a lot of friends, my friends, they ask her out for marriage, even as you're already married. I'm talking about my pastor friends. They call her when I'm not around. They know I travel a lot. They call her to talk to her that she should leave me and marry them. And up till tomorrow, I can never call any of my friends that why are you looking for my wife? Because I know she wouldn't leave this marriage to go after them. I have a lot of pastor friends that while I'm even around, they still call her that can I see you? Can we go out? Can we do this? I said, go, you are free. Because I trust her. Even while we were in Abuja, when we just got married, we were having a baby, 1 kid or thereabout, or she was pregnant, I can't remember. Yeah. A friend of mine was giving prophecy in their program that, because he didn't know this was my wife. So he said that your daughter that I am seeing in your poster, I want her to sing for my program, in my program. I said, my daughter, which one? You say Esther. I said, Esther, that's okay. I gave him my wife's number to invite her. And after invitation, she sang. The man said, the Spirit of the Lord is saying that is his wife. I said, God is telling that is your wife? He said, yes. Even his guest speaker that came from Port Harcourt or Abuja to preach also said that there is a connection in the spiritual realm between the host pastor and this woman that is singing. So they said that was their. I said, okay, you have to pray so that he said, no, I don't need any prayer. I don't need an angel to tell me again that this is my wife. I've just seen in the spirit realm that this is my wife. I said, yeah. And she was pregnant for my first baby. Okay, second baby, yeah. So the first baby was with me in the house while she was going for the program. And I never for once questioned her. The man, I said, have you prayed? He said, man of God, I don't need to pray. I hear God very well. That is my wife. I said, okay, go and prepare to go and marry her since that is your wife. So that's the level of trust I have. A lot of my friends, some of them that do need something that she's my sister. Because that's how we introduce ourselves most times. So they will begin to look for her and I will not bother because I trust her. I don't walk around. Most times she goes out for 4 hours, 6 hours. I don't question her that why are you coming late? Why is this? Why are you doing that? Why did you go to see that person? Because of that level of trust. So trust is very important and I trust her and we are hard working, believing God to fulfill the dream and assignment that God has given to us. Thank you very much, Mom, for this opportunity to express ourselves so that others can also learn in their own direction.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So many nuggets, I'm telling you. And we're going to keep it flowing. I want you all to just think on relationship as it pertains to when a husband and a wife may have difference of opinion. How can she still take and honor him even though she may not totally just see it the way that he sees it at the time without trying to push her opinion on her husband? Because there's so many women that will try to override their husband, will try to take and do what they want to do in spite of what their husband is saying. So, Pastor Esther, I want you to bring your aroma to the women to help them to understand how should we conduct ourselves when it may not be a time when we totally agree with maybe the men of God, because he may see things different, a woman may see things different, but I know that God is the God of peace. And so bring some nuggets. How can she sit humbly and wait without making him feel as though he is not the head, or that she wants to compete with him, or make him feel like that she knows more than he knows in a particular situation. Bring your aroma.
All right. That is where I would like to say, women, as a woman of God, you should also ask God for spiritual sight, because you need to hear God. You need to hear what he's saying concerning anything you're doing in your family. So when you are a child of God that have deaf ear, you don't hear anything, it will be very, very difficult for you to understand what your husband is saying. Most time, before he comes up with any decision, God has already revealed to me. So most time it's not really too difficult to understand, because what he is telling me, I have a confirmation. And sometimes, if I don't have a confirmation before he tells me that thing, after some days, God will bring the confirmation to me. So most times when he discusses something I don't like, I will say, well, I've heard you. Let me process it. Most time I will tell you, I've heard it. Let me process it, because there are so many decisions your husband will bring in a marriage that you may not really like it. But you don't really need to shout. You don't really need to quarrel. You don't really need to cause disagreement in any way. You just need to understand that, okay, you brought this thing to the table. Let me process it. And at that period of time that I'm processing it, I'm also praying, God, how do I handle this? How do I answer this question? How am I going to reply to it? And most times when I sit down and start processing all of this, God begins to speak to me. And this is what you're supposed to do. This is the reality of life, or this is not it. I want to use some instances that happened. There was a time when I was pregnant with my third baby, and then my husband told me, I don't want you to deliver here. You have to leave this place, because I don't like what I'm seeing in the realm of the spirit. You have to travel back to where your mom is. And he said, in the realm of the spirit, I saw your mom was the one that handled your labor case, your delivery case. And I said, I'm not going anywhere. Sincerely, that's what I said. I said, I'm not going anywhere. If it is because of the devil, or it is because of attack, you're asking me to run away, I'm not going to run away. So he now smiled. I said, I'm not going. I discovered that I was post-dated. I stayed for almost extra 2 weeks. I couldn't put to bed. And I was worried. I said, how come I've been carrying this pregnancy? This is almost 11 months. I've not been able to put to bed. And then one day I was asleep. I saw myself. I was about to deliver. And the next thing that happened, I started bleeding. Although the baby came out, I saw the baby's face. And the next thing, they were rushing me to the ICU. And the next thing that happened, I saw my husband from nowhere stop the bed. And immediately he stopped the bed. He laid hand on me, and the bleeding stopped. So immediately I woke up that morning. I told my husband, I said, I want to travel to my mom's place. He said, where are you going to? You said you're not going anywhere. I said, what you told me. You told me to leave, right? I said, I have a confirmation. The revelation I had today showed that what you told me, it was God who said it to you. He now said, well, I didn't want to express what I saw, but I think I wanted to let you know. But thank God, God has revealed to you. And before we came to Calabar, I never wanted to relocate sincerely from Abuja to Calabar. I enjoy Abuja so much. I love Abuja so much, especially my swag brethren. I just wanted to be around them. The love is so massive. In fact, you will not be around those women and want to miss a minute of them. So when it suddenly came that we want to leave, I said, I don't want to leave Abuja, because I said, now that I just joined this new family, I'm enjoying their company, I've been here lonely. I don't have a family to belong to. Now I've come to have a family, women that love themselves, women that care about themselves. I said, I don't want to go. I don't want to leave. But before then, what he told me, why I accepted to relocate to Calabar, was that I had a revelation. And that revelation, in the realm of the spirit, I was being summoned by my family. And the question they asked me is that, why do you want to relocate to Calabar? We brought our sister to stay with you. And now you want to leave her in Abuja to relocate to Calabar. And I told them in the revelation, I said, don't you know that I'm a minister of God? I am not supposed to stay at one place. Wherever God said I should go, I must go. So I now woke up from that revelation. So when he told me we are relocating to Calabar, it wasn't too difficult for me to process it because God has shown me. So what I want to tell women out there, you need to hear God. You need to hear God speak to you. You need to ask him to open your spiritual ears to hear. Sometimes your husband is speaking the mind of God, but you're interrupting it because you feel that your will should be more than that. You don't need to shout, as I earlier said. You just need wisdom. Okay, my husband, okay, my love, okay, my sweetheart, I've heard what you say. Let me pray about it. And at the process of you praying about it sincerely, God is going to speak to you because God loves family. Thank you, Mom.
Wow. Yeah, that's going to be definitely interesting because we have women that when the husband is speaking, especially in a household where there's the woman of God and the man of God. And so when he's speaking, because she's anointed as well, it may be a clash there, but then God calls us to peace. I want to go over and talk about those babies because both of you all have said that you have 4 babies. And so, Apostle, I want you to bring your must, talking about how important is it for the dad to bond with the children, because mom, we conceive and we carry, we birth, we nurse, we nurture. However, the importance of the daddy's role with those babies. I have 7 babies, and so the daddy role is super important. And so what has been your experience bonding with those babies from day one? Bring your must.
Okay, thank you, Mom. The experiences have been so many. I've learned so much. I think majorly like the first baby, I was in the hospital with her. In short, from day one, I've always been around. The pregnancy experiences, I can remember how ignorant we were the first 1 or 2 months. We didn't know exactly how to go about it. So most times we go to the hospital, we say that she's having pains at the abdomen, this and that, and we didn't know exactly that there was nothing like serious sickness about it. It was just pregnancy stuff. So we keep going to the hospital until we discover that this sickness doesn't have cure. After 9 months that the permanent cure for that sickness will come because of the experiences of little sicknesses here and there in pregnancy. One of the first experiences I had was one day we were sleeping while we were in Abuja. Around 2 o'clock, she woke me up that she wants to eat chicken. 2 o'clock, midnight, we were sleeping. Chicken, how? What do you... It was so frustrating and she was crying. Why would I have chicken this night for you? So many experiences, so many times. Most times rain will be falling. And then she doesn't like gala. From that pregnancy, she started liking gala. That she wants to eat gala. And maybe it could be very late. And I wouldn't want to go out that night. But because of the cry and the persistency, I have to go out. So I've more or less gone through so many things because of pregnancy, learning how to babysit, so many things, so many. Breastfeed, helping her to breastfeed the baby, helping her to wear pampers, to even bathe the baby. From there, I think 2 of my children, like the last one, the last boy, the fourth guy, the fourth baby, I was even in the level ward also. The first baby, I was in the hospital with her, hearing her, she was crying and speaking in tongues. I was also praying along with her. The last baby could not even come out until I had to enter into the labor ward and comfort the baby. And that was when the baby came out after so many hours of labor. So I've had so many experiences because of these children. And we want to thank God for all He has been doing through us. So I want to encourage men, married men, whether you're a pastor or not, all my kids, they love staying around me because I take care of them even more than their mother. I feed almost all my kids. I've been the one feeding them. As she will sleep at night while I'm awake, still watching over the children, each and every one of them. I hardly sleep. I stay awake with them and they sleep with me. That is a good part of it. All my kids from the first to the last, they have been sleeping with me while she sleeps alone. when it is time for breastfeeding, I'll wake her up, and then she will breastfeed the baby, and then the baby will go back to bed, and then she will also go back to bed. So I had a lot of experiences. There's nothing I don't know about baby because of all these 4 children. I'm the one taking care of so many part of them. So the role of not because you're a pastor or a father doesn't mean you shouldn't know anything about your kids. I know when they are hungry. I understand their children language, their sign, their languages even more than their mother. Like the last one, when me and him were discussing, the mother will not understand what we are saying. I will be the one to interpret to the mother what the boy is saying, because I'm used to them. They are used to me. If I travel, they fall sick. If their mother travels, they don't even care whether she has traveled or not, because that's how close I am to them. If I travel, they will be shouting, I should come back and make video calls with them. They will be shouting, they will fall sick because they are missing me. So because you're a father doesn't mean you shouldn't be close to your children. Help your wife. Most times I cook because I want her to rest. Like the first baby, before she put to bed, I've already prepared pounded yam. Those of you that know pounded yam, I prepared pepper soup, prepare a very delicious food meal for her, bush meat, all manner of things. I cook so many times when she put to bed, not only putting to bed, if not till now, I still cook. For the last 3 months, I've been the one cooking in the house, and she's just relaxing. So because you're a husband or a pastor doesn't mean you shouldn't help your wife. A good percentage of the work I help her to do. I help her in taking care of the kids, and that's why she's looking fresh. And a lot of my friends, they want to marry my wife because of that. They're not aware how much I've invested in her. Financially, I've invested. Time-wise, I've invested. Teaching her the scripture, I've invested. And so many things. Traveling up and down, invested in her in so many things. So I'm glad that I met her, and I'm happy. I've not regretted marrying her. All right, thank you, Ma. I have finally, just like you asked her about opinion and decision. One important thing that, because of the kind of ministry, the kind of assignment I have, I'm mostly on crusade. My assignment is more or less revival, not just church planting stuff. Going around having crusade, that is majorly my assignment. So most times, God will say move to the next town. After spending 1 year or 2 years in this place, and when we want to relocate to, most times it will take us like a very far distance, more beyond 6 to 7, 8 states to travel to. We go after relocating 2 years ago or last year. God says move, and it becomes like a problem. So if I want us to relocate, if God says relocate, I wouldn't tell her. I will tell God to go and tell her. That go and tell her that you want us to do this thing. So I will hear it, and I will not tell her. So I will wait for her to bring it. When once I finish discussing with God, I go and tell her that this is what you want me to do. I will not tell her. Go and tell her. God will go and tell her. Then she will say, sweetest, this is what the revelation I had. I will say, yes, I'm aware of it. I'm the one that sent God to go and tell you, so that I will not have problem in discussing it with you. So I only keep her as a prophetess for confirmation of whatever God wants me to do, majorly. I wouldn't tell her most of the things that God wants me to do. I only want her to tell me what God is saying, because I only ask God to go and tell her what He wants me to do next. So thank you very much, Mom, for giving us this opportunity to express. We don't have all the time to express what we can say. So many things, so many. We want to say it can take us 2 months, 3 months. We have not finished what we have gone through, what we have seen within these 11 years in marriage. Me 18 years in ministry. If I want to sit here and talk, it will take us the next 4 months. I will not finish. So thank you very much for this little time that we have to express ourselves. Thank you, Mom.
Wonderful. Wow. So much aroma, so many nuggets, so much good advice, so much wholesome counsel coming from you both. I want to sort of ease over to finances, because in relationship, you're going to deal with, at times, some things concerning funds and being able to provide, being a woman that knows how to take those funds. If things are tight, stretching it out. But I want you all to talk about how to survive when things may be a little tight, opposed to being just very bountiful, because every couple, when they get married, they're looking forward to things just, flourishing and working out. But what happens when you go through a little tight situation? Because sometimes marriages are broken because of finances. Oh, goodness. Well, I think that our guest, I think it must have froze a little bit, and maybe they'll come back on. But we were definitely getting ready to talk about finances, the culprit that sometimes couples are not able to get past, and it may cause them to go into a separation and not be able to recover at times. And so I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, that they're coming back. Just give us a few moments.
All right, Mom, we are hearing you.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, just turn because you all, I don't see you, but I can hear you. So there you go. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, and so I was talking about finances and how should a couple deal with the finances when things get a little tight at times, because again, every couple would want things to stay bountiful, and and we desire for the bills to be paid, the children to be fed, everything to be running smooth in the household, to be able to have the finer things in life at the appointed time, to travel, to just enjoy life. But it comes down to, of course, faithfulness to God, and then those finances. And so I want you all to give out some nuggets, because sometimes the woman will begin to look at her husband a little different if he's not able to provide. Sometimes the husband will get a little concerned when the woman is spending the finances out of the house, and she is supposed to stretch it out to help him to be able to manage the household. So I want you all to bring your Musk, bring your aroma, give us some financial tips of how can couples remain in harmony when finances may become a little tight. Either one of you all.
Okay, ma'am. When it comes to finance, we don't actually, nobody owns the money. That's how we run our home. Nobody owns the money. No matter how much I come with, I don't own it. No matter how much she comes in with, whether she comes home with, no matter the amount, she hands it over to me. And if I come back from a journey, no matter how much I come back with, I don't own 1 naira of the money. I drop it with her, or I just drop it where we normally keep money, and we spend it together. We don't own any account of our own. I don't have my personal account, and I don't spend any money on my own. She doesn't have a personal account, and she doesn't spend any money on her own like that. If there are bills to pay, whether children's fees, whatever money that is in us, that is what we use in paying. We don't say, mommy pay, daddy pay. No. The entire family, we have one purse. That is how we run our home. And then when it comes to financial management, she's no better than me. I lavish, I spend without looking behind. That is the way in short, because of God's grace on me, in short, she has helped me to actually cut down expenses. I don't know how to manage. That's one problem I was having, which I'm adjusting seriously. If I have money and she's not around, I will waste the money before I know I'll finish the whole money. But if she's around, I'm always happier because she will be able to manage the money with me. And if I have money, which we have something to do, I wouldn't hold it, because I'm the one holding the money, it will finish. So what I do quietly is to hand over the money for her, especially if it is for a project. I don't even go close to that one. I say, yeah, hold this one. This is what I want us to do. So hold it. Then this one, this is for the one to run the family. So in financial management, she's no better than me, because I spend without looking behind. So I'm glad in that aspect. And I would like to encourage families that you shouldn't just, I don't have any percentage that this one is especially for myself. I want to do this. No, even herself, if she comes home with money, and there is something she wants to do, she still takes permission from me that, please, can you give me a percentage from this money? This is what I want to do. And if I see that what she wants to do, even though it's her own money, I will still tell her that I don't like that project, drop the whole money here. This is what I want us to do, and she will do that. So when I see that she has obeyed, I can still remove the money back for her. I just wanted that obedience, that's all. I can still remove the money and redeem her back to do whatever she wants to do, or I reduce the money or increase it. She is more financially prudent than myself, and I'm happy about that. So I'm encouraging couples or families not to own money, not to accumulate finances. When money comes in, no matter the project we have at hand, we consider God's project first. We have a program to run, a revival to run, a crusade to run, a church meeting to take care of. That one comes first before our personal needs. Like for a long time now, we have not actually gone to market to buy things for ourselves that I want, like myself especially. I tell her I don't even know when I will even buy this or buy that. But because we need to take care of God's project first, there are souls lavishing on the street. Our major target is to see how we can reach millions of people with the gospel. And those that have been following us online, we are always having different meetings to see that souls are touched, not buying clothes for ourselves or buying this. We don't accumulate wealth. We don't buy things to keep for ourselves. Any money that comes in, we use it for the gospel. Because what I believe is you will die very soon tomorrow. If you're doing impact lives, you're doing touch people, you are buying clothes, buying cars, building houses, it's not important. What is important is impacting lives. So I want to encourage families that you shouldn't accumulate wealth for any reason. Accumulate wealth for the kingdom purpose and to touch lives. I think I will allow her to also say something in regards to that.
Okay, when I was about getting married, one of the prayer I prayed also was that God should give me a man who is a giver, because I give a lot too, and I wouldn't want something that I'll be restricted when I get married. But when I met him, I got to realize that his own giving is excess. Until the point I told him, I said, I hope one day you will not carry me and give out. This one that you can give everything. He said, no, my Bible and yourself I cannot give out, but anything that we know that is in the house that so it can assist someone, you can do it. So managing the finances of the family has never been a big deal for two of us, because we understand that every money that comes in is for the family. Sometimes I want to do a particular thing, he said, don't do it. I understand the reason why he said so, and I don't get angry. And sometimes when I bring money, like there was a time I was working, being paid salary. Anytime they pay me salary, I will tell him, okay, my salary has been paid. What do you want us to do with the money? Then we'll sit down and deliberate on how to spend the money. So it has not really been an issue. He gives me whatever I want at any time. When he has it, he doesn't restrict anything. And at the point when I discovered that he spends excessively, I asked him, I said, can I make use of your ATM? Can it be with me? No, I discovered that he trusted me a lot. So most time I hold his ATM, I know the PIN. I restrict him from touching a particular money, and he doesn't get angry that I am the man of the house. I need to be the one to make decisions. So I said, since you spend much, let me be the one to be giving you money. So most times when he comes back with money like that, he hand over it to me. When I come back with money, I showed him the money. We deliberate on what I will want to do. Then he will hand over the money back to me, say, keep it, and then let me make use of it in this way. Now, even when, okay, next, like, example of what he did, next week, Thursday, is my birthday. And then I needed to wear one or two. There was this type of clothing that have been in my mind that, okay, I want to wear. And I told him, he said, won't it be too much? I said, no, I love them. He said, okay, if you love them, no problem. I just want you to, look good for that day. And I told him, I said, this is the project I have for my birthday. This is what I want to do. I want to just worship God. I want to organize a worship concert. I want to do this. Though I don't have money, and this is what I have in my mind to do. He bought the ideas, and he has been supporting me financially in all aspects. The one he cannot do financially is running around to make sure that this program is a success. So managing the funds, we don't really have issues, because we understand that every money that comes in is for the family, is for the gospel to reach out to people. Thank you, Mom.
Amazing, amazing. I want to ease over before it's time for us to go and talk about communication within the relationship, the right type of communication, because sometimes when husband and wife, when we are discussing, sometimes the women will get disrespectful and begin to say things degrading to him. Sometimes he may say things to hurt her. I want to talk about effective communication in marriage. How can couples take and communicate in a way that would draw them together instead of driving them apart? Bring your Musk, bring your aroma.
Okay, let me chip in 1 or 2 points. Before we got married, one of the things I said was, no matter how I offend you or you offend me, when one's offense comes up, we should be able to reconcile immediately, no matter how bad the issue is. If I offend you, you should be able to tell me that what you have done to me, I don't like it. And then we should trash it out. I don't want it to live till the following day. I don't want it in that form. And from that day till today, that's how we have been living. And as a man, if she offends me, I don't talk. I'm a type that I don't talk. But since she has discovered, she has been able to study me, she knows when I'm not happy with her, then she will come and ask. There's a particular way she will notice my appearance or my behavior. When she brings a discussion, I wouldn't answer her the way I'm supposed to answer. She will know that I'm not happy with her. Then she will ask, she will open up that, what is wrong? What have I done? Then I will tell her what she has done to me. Then she will say, I'm sorry. And that's how we go. If I offend her, there's a way she behaves. And I will know that I offended her. She doesn't want to tell me that I offended her. Then I will be able to come up. If she doesn't want to open up, I will just look for cook or buy anything she likes to eat. Or if I have small money, I just send it to chicken. I buy her chicken, or I just send something into her account, and then she will smile. I know that has been taken care of. So, so that's how we have been living. We don't allow our relationship to, no matter what we hear from people, someone can bring a story that this is what your wife is doing. I wouldn't give attention to that because I'm the one staying in the house with her. We know how we trash what we hear from outside. If she hears something from outside, she will be able to confront me first before getting angry or not. So that's how we manage our relationship. We don't allow any issue to go down the drain. Whatever that comes up, we make sure we try to trash it so that we wouldn't go to bed with such a thing, because you wouldn't know what will come up in next minute. So that's how we have been living. We don't have magic about that. We don't have so many things to say about that. But let her chip whatever she feels like chipping in this regard also.
Okay, like communication, it has been wonderful. So wonderful. You know, when we newly got married, just like he said, he just helped me one day in the sitting room. He said, come, let's discuss some rules and regulation in our marriage. So he helped me, dragged me closer to himself. He said, we are two of us in this journey. That was the language he used. He said, it is just two of us in this journey. There shouldn't be any third party. There shouldn't be anyone that will come and bring separation with one thing or the other. So whatever you hear or whatever happens to you or happen to us in the family, we should be able to settle it without any issue. And now he said, no issue in the house. Let me quote him correctly. He said, no issue in this house should last more than 30 minutes, no matter how serious that issue is. And he also said that we should be able to apologize to each other whenever we wrong each other. So most times, I will tell him, sweetest, this thing you have done, I don't like it. He will explain why he did that, and he will say, I am sorry. And then sometimes when he will tell me, Diamond, I don't like what you did, I will say, oh, I am very, very sorry for what I did. And that's how it ends. And even though we had any other issue in the future, we don't bring back what has passed. We make sure we don't say, yesterday this is what you did. The other day this is what you did. The other week this is what you did. Whatever has passed, it passed. We don't bring it into the present. Then communication, to also advise couple to always make sure that there's no breakage in their communication. Since we got married, if my husband leaves the house for 3-4 hours, sometimes he will call and call, this is where I am. this is where I'm going to. I will say, you don't get tired of calling. He will make sure that he keep communicating with me, not just because we just started marriage. Up till today, my husband can call me 10 times in a day when he's not around. So the communication we have, it has helped us. So even though someone meet us outside to say, this is what your husband did, this is what my wife did. So many times people have met me like that. This is what your husband did, trying to cause confusion. I say, really? All right, let me get to him first before I can get back to you. And then when I meet him, this is what someone said. I didn't do that. I prefer to believe my husband than to believe an outsider. So that is how it has been. So we don't allow anything to last more than necessary in our homes. And that's how the children also have seen us peacefully when they offend each other, because they have seen that mommy and daddy don't keep grievances. They will apologize to each other. In fact, our house is just as if you have ever visited where children are. That is how our home has been. We play always, we do things always, and we are happy always, no matter the circumstances.
Okay, let me chip in one important thing for those that would like to learn from it, because it's very important. For these 11 years, I would like to let you know that no one has ever come in to settle us.
Yes.
We have never had issues for these 11 years. And no one from my family, from our family as a friend, no one has ever received a call from us that we are quarreling. We have never quarreled. Yes. We have never quarreled for these 11 years, and we can never quarrel. No matter the issue we have, we trash it in less than 30 minutes. So very important, that was something that we would like families to learn also. For the past 11 years, no one can boast that we have heard you quarrel. People have been visiting us. People have been sleeping in our houses in different places. People have been coming to stay with us, and they keep wondering how we survive, how we live. They keep wondering how this home is. They don't understand it. We live a life that people are trying to emulate us. If whoever that knows us and they want to marry, we are like their picture. We want to marry, we want to be like you, but I don't know, God just build us like that. If you meet us today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, we are always like that. The things we discuss, we are discussing like girlfriend and boyfriend. If I leave the house, and just like she said, I call more than 20, 30 times sometimes.
How are you doing?
On video calls, this, that, and
are you sleeping? Have you taken your bed?
Till 12 in the night, sometimes 1 o'clock, we still call in the night. Do video call in the night.
Today, yes.
So families and couples should be able to also learn that.
I still send him love text messages. He still send me. It's not like the marriage is old, so we shouldn't stop. Sometimes he will be in the room. I will just send him a text. I love you. I am missing you. But we're in the same house. He's in the room. I'm in the sitting room. But I'm still sending him such messages, and it has been like that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So much. I believe, that I would say, watch this particular interview over and over again so that they can get all of the nuggets. And so, it is so much to be said about unison and about romance and about love and harmony. There's so much to be said about relationship. And I am in love with relationship because, again, me and Dr. Slater, 28 years, and I'm telling you, when he walks in the room, oh my goodness, no matter where he's been, but when he comes in, it's like everything shifts. And so, and I believe that it should remain like that. Whether you're married 10 years, 20 years, 100 years, when that man of God walks in, the woman, the little girl inside of her, the woman that he met, should yet still get excited. And so here in the United States, people would say to me, I love the way you introduce him. They would want me to introduce Dr. Slater on the mic. And they said, I love the way you introduce him. And I would say to them, it's nothing that I have to make up. It's nothing that I have to think about. It's just who he is. He's so easy to love. And so I can appreciate everything that I'm hearing from you all. And I'm telling you, this hour has went by so fast. And so, but it's my desire that the woman of God that will listen, or the women of God that will listen and take it back to their husbands, that they will be completely blessed. And I know that they will, because I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Because, you know, it's not a lot of times that you will hear couples saying these things. You know, it's in this day and time, some of the women are, you know, really out there. They're not willing to listen to a woman that says, baby, submit to your husband. The men are not willing to listen to the man of God that says, spend time with your family, you know, keep communication in the household. They're just not willing because their mindset has changed because of different things that has happened. And so you both have come here today on the platform, and you all have left such beautiful nuggets, so much of your scent, the musk and the aroma. I'm telling you that when the women of God, the men of God, when they listen, if they listen to everything that you all have said, then their homes can be literally transformed. And so at this time, pastor, both of you all together as being some of Calabar's amazing celebrity people, a couple that is able to stand in the midst of a room and to tell the people how to remain happy. It has been a pleasure to have you all on the platform. I'm still excited, even though we're an hour in, I'm still excited about your journey, about your love story, and I approve the message. Every bit of nuggets, what you all have said according to the Word of God. I'm telling you, I'm just in love with what I've heard. And so at this time, I want you all to be able to tell a couple where to find you, because they're going to tune in, and because of the love that you displayed, because of your information and your understanding, somebody's going to want to know, wow, they're going to want to keep their relationship fresh and new, and they may want to know how you are doing it. And so give us some information, some contact information, whatever you want to give, email, Facebook connection, whatever you want to give. Pastor Esther.
Okay, you can get me on Facebook. My Facebook name is Pastor Esther Maxwell-Ogar. The short form of pastor is PST, then Maxwell-Ogar. Yes. You can also get me on YouTube. When you just type of Pastor Esther, you can easily reach out to me. Even on WhatsApp, I do accept giving people out my number in case they want to discuss with me privately. Yeah, so you can get me on WhatsApp. You can get me on WhatsApp. You can get me. You can also get me through Doctor. Yes, Mommy has my number, and I'm so glad. The easiest way you can actually get me is through Mommy. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Wow.
I have two Facebook accounts. The first one is Apostle Maxwell-Ogar. Then the second Facebook page is Prophet Ogar Revivals. Then on YouTube, Apostle Ogar. On Instagram, Prophet Ogar. And then the list keeps going. So my WhatsApp, definitely you get to Dr. Mrs. Later, you can also get to me.
Yes.
You get to my wife, you can also get to me on WhatsApp. For my Facebook, Prophet Ogar Revivals, Apostle Maxwell-Ogar is open for discussion. Instagram, Prophet Ogar, and then YouTube, Apostle Ogar. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Will you be the next woman to tell your story? Be blessed.